RamCountry.com proudly presents TNT Outdoor Explosion.
Welcome to TNT. This week, my good friend Richard and I head to the Dark Continent, and Richard fulfills a bucket list item with Mabula Pro Safaris, and it is the Cape Buffalo. This is TNT.
TNT Outdoor Explosion is brought to you by RamCountry.com, Venture Out, HuntingTrophy.com, logistics experts, Dead Downwind, your last line of defense in the field, ESP Digital Hearing Protection, empower your hearing, Sweet Apple Game Calls, it's the sound that counts, Nature's Fury Nutri-Drink, find your fury, or our ranch, where hunting meets the Mother Road. Nichols Custom Guns. When you only have one shot, use Nichols Custom Guns.
Well, I met up with my good friend Richard at the Dallas Safari Club National Convention. He told me one of his bucket list items was to hunt a Cape Buffalo. So I immediately took him over to Mabula Pro Safaris, where my buddy Christo could put him on a great hunt. Once we finished meeting with Christo, we had made our plans and we just had to wait for June to come so we could head to the Dark Continent. We arrived in Johannesburg pretty late one night, so we would have to stay in a bed and breakfast. We stayed at a place called Africa Sky. It's a great 5-star B&B, excellent food, and most importantly, a really comfortable bed after a long, long flight. Well, we got a good night's rest, and the next morning, Christo's crew was there to pick us up, and we were on our way to camp. Welcome to Africa. Yeah. Now this would be my 16th trip to Africa. And of all my 16 trips, there's two things I can't do without when I come. Top Deck dairy milk and my Simba salt and vinegar chips. That, my friend, is reason enough to come to Africa. When we arrive at camp, the most important thing is to check our guns. So I grabbed my gun, and Richard wants to shoot his new double. And his new double is what he was going to use on this Cape Buffalo hunt. So it was of the utmost importance that it shoots accurate. Okay, well, we just finished up at the shooting range and Richard sighted in his double barrel. I've got my 300 goods, so it's time to get in the bush. Away from the range and in the bush. Let's go. Once we finished shooting the guns, we knew everything was good to go and we had a little bit of time left, so we thought we would just kind of drive around and get a lay of the land. Well, this was my 16th safari, and I've done bow and rifle hunting in Africa in the past. I had kind of a small hit list, if you will, for this trip, and I brought the gun and the bow just so I could complete that list. Obviously hoping something would come into bow range, but I was not going to let a real trophy leave because I only had my bow. And that's happened to me numerous times in Africa, so this time I was a little better prepared. All right, we're hunting with Mabula Pro Safaris this week, and what you see behind me is the guys hard at work. There's been a lot of great game coming to this water hole, and we're going to set up here for any kind of hunting, gun or bow. We got both with us today, but they're building us a blind here, a brush blind, traditional, the way they would build them. And this is going to be really neat because we're going to use this blind a lot for the next few days, and hopefully we'll get a great animal out of this. But it takes a lot of work, but these guys at Mabula will do whatever it takes to put you on the game. This blind was absolutely perfect, and I felt really confident that we were going to see a lot of game. Okay, well, the guys worked very hard, and what you see behind me is a blind that they put together in 1 hour. This thing is solid, and we got great concealment. So we've got about 4 different shooting windows. We're going to be watching all around this water. It should be a great hunt. So we're going to go in here and sit down. We're going to have lunch in the blind today, and we're going to sit here the entire day. I'm excited. Well, the day had started out, and we were in the blind early, and once the sun got up good over the tree line, the animals started rolling in. And Mabula Pro Safaris has a lot of game, so it was just a matter of me waiting and being patient and hoping something that was on my list would show itself at the water hole. It was probably getting pretty late in the afternoon. We had been sitting there since daybreak, and unfortunately nothing I was looking for had showed up at the water hole yet. But lo and behold, my old favorite friend shows up, the warthog. You know, at one point the warthog came down to the water hole, but unfortunately he was facing pretty much almost right at me, which did not give me a clear and ethical shot with my bow. So we sat, and I had been watching this warthog for over an hour, so I quickly grabbed the gun and got settled because I was not going to leave Africa without this warthog.
Well, the warthog ran off into the trees, and we went and tracked him, and within 100 yards, we found the ancient warthog. Well, here is the warthog I just shot with Guy, and we're at Mabula Pro Safaris, and it got me on the board here in Africa. We're sitting in a blind that they built, and it's over a water hole, and I brought my bow and my gun this time, and I'm glad I did, because this guy came in a couple times, but he never would come into bow range. So I'm glad I brought the gun. He was standing out a ways, and I was able to get a shot on him with the gun. I don't know that we'd have ever got him with the bow today.
No, I don't think so.
No. It's late in the day. It's about the time of day where they quit coming to the water hole.
The wind's start turning.
Yeah, and the wind's turning. The wind's been horrible on us all day. It keeps switching. So Guy said, grab your gun. This is the heck of a warthog. You need to take him. So we did, and I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you, man.
Thank you for the shot.
Appreciate it.
This segment is brought to you by Nichols Custom Guns. When you only have one shot, use Nichols Custom Guns.
Okay, on Richard's buffalo hunt, we were going to have to change camps. We had been spending a lot of the time in the Limpopo area, but Christo had another camp in the Kalahari. So Christo arranged for us to have a private King Air charter pick us up at his one lodge and take us to his other lodge in the Kalahari. So we were pretty excited about the flight. Everybody got on the plane. In a matter of no time, we were at Christo's second camp.
What's happening, sir? Good to see you.
Once we were out in the Kalahari, we wanted to just kind of get a lay of the land, look around a little bit, because on any buffalo hunt, it's best to start, especially in that part of Africa, it's best to start with a fresh day.
I see a couple of impalas walking in the brush.
Well, for Richard's buffalo hunt, we were going to start each day by checking water holes. And in this climate where we were hunting the buffalo is an arid, dry climate. So buffalo drink a lot of water. And typically during the night, they will find a water source somewhere. So we would drive around to each water hole to see if we could find fresh tracks of an old Dugga Boy that we could follow up on. We had checked a number of water sources throughout the days, and Christo had his trackers out in another vehicle checking other water holes to see if we could find fresh tracks of a Dugga Boy. And luckily for us, Christo got a call on the radio that the trackers had spotted the fresh tracks.
Richard, the trackers got back to us and told us there's some buffalo they saw at one of the water holes up here. So I think we must go out there and see if we can find you a decent bull. So let's get out and see if we can help you.
Great. Thank you.
Good luck.
Well, luckily for us, the buffalo had just been there. The trackers felt like the tracks were so fresh it was probably within the last hour. So we immediately grabbed our gear, tightened up the boots, and on foot we went.
This segment is brought to you by Our Ranch, where hunting meets the Mother Road.
Well, we stalked for quite a while, but eventually we did catch up to the buffalo, and actually there were 3 of them. Christo spotted them through the brush and told us that there were 3 mature buffalo within 100 yards. Well, Christo closed the gap just a little bit more, got Richard on the sticks for a perfectly broadside shot.
Don't shoot. Because he's running. Pick up.
Well, Richard made a good shot and the buffalo didn't go far. Unfortunately, the other 2 bulls could smell the blood on him and decided to give us a little bit of an issue, but Christo and the team handled that quickly, and Richard was able to get his hands on his bucket list item, the Cape buffalo.
Well, Richard, we got your buffalo. You made a good shot.
Thank you.
That first time it ran off into the thicket. He died in a really thick thorn bush. We managed to pull it out of there for you so we can take nice pictures, and at least you can see the quality of this bull you took. It's an amazing animal. You saw how strong they are. They can take a lot of punishment. You made an excellent shot there, so congratulations one more time.
Thank you.
A great safari and a beautiful animal you took today.
Thank you very much.
Wow, we had a great time with Christo and his staff at Mabula Pro Safaris. Richard fulfilled his bucket list and got his Cape buffalo, and I added another trophy, ancient warthog to my trophy room. Hey, if you'd like to find out more information about outfitters or sponsors seen on the show, be sure and check out our website at tntoutdoorexplosion.com or Facebook at TNT Outdoor Explosion. Hey, thanks for watching this week, and until next week, remember, do what you love and share it with your family.
Closed captioning brought to you by ESP America. TNT Outdoor Explosion is brought to you by ramcountry.com. Venture out. HuntingTrophy.com. Logistics experts. Dead downwind. Your last line of defense in the field. ESP Digital Hearing Protection. Empower your hearing. Sweet Apple Game Calls. It's the sound that counts. Nature's Fury Nutri-Drink. Find your fury. Or our ranch, where hunting meets the Mother Road. Nichols Custom Guns. When you only have one shot, use Nichols Custom Guns.
Yeah, hello, bam. And he told me that one of his bucket list items was to hunt a Cape buffalo. So I immediately took him over to Mabula Prosa.
Just short. Just at the bottom of it.
That's awesome.